Hello, welcome back to the Eclat Power series. I'd like to start this video for today bringing an anecdote in terms of a past experience of mine. A few years ago, I had an opportunity to attend a leadership training session, and as a part of that particular session, on the final day, so it was a 3-day session, on the final day, the facilitator or the master trainer decided to do an exercise or conduct an experiment which he termed as the Coca-Cola experiment. Now, what is the Coca-Cola experiment? It was calling out a volunteer from the audience. So one of my co-participants volunteered for that, and this particular participant who had volunteered was requested to hold a few bottles of Coca-Cola and walk for a distance. So first he was asked to take one bottle, and these were big bottles, 1.5 liters each, and he was asked to walk. He walked a distance. Then the concerned facilitator asked him to pick up another 2 bottles and walk, and he managed to do that even with 3 bottles. And then the facilitator kept adding the bottles that the person could carry, and by the time he reached 5 bottles, what happened was, as he kept walking or he walked ahead, the bottles started falling off from his hand. And that's the analogy which the concerned facilitator or trainer wanted to establish is, in life we all carry burdens, we all carry a lot of thoughts pertaining to our past, and it ends up being a big burden for us which would only bog us down. So in the same way that this gentleman who was a part of the experiment could not carry more than 5 large size bottles of Coke or Coca-Cola, the same way none of us can march ahead if we cling on to our past thoughts and negative emotions. And keeping this in perspective, what matters in a major way is the ability of letting go. We all need to understand that our past cannot become an impediment for our present or the future. At times, letting go of negative emotions, thoughts is the best approach to do. In fact, a lot of my business coaching involves an element of life coaching as well. And this comes out very strongly even with certain senior executives, that many of them are unable to move on from the shackles of the past to the level of even certain instances pertaining to their upbringing. People still hold on to them, and somewhere that becomes a barrier in terms of moving forward. And that's when I tell my concerned coaches or these executives, do you think holding on to these thoughts makes any sense for you? Do you get any benefit out of that? Unfortunately, it doesn't, and they are late to realize that. So the crux of the matter is we all need to let go of our past to create a fabulous future. Now, coming on to the workplace, this element of letting go in the organizational context is also a challenge for a lot of leaders. When I see a lot of leaders around, there is micromanagement involved. A lot of leaders don't like to delegate their activities to their team members. Everyone wants to take credit for himself or herself. Now, the concept of letting go, which applies to our personal lives, can also apply to a professional life. Every leader needs to understand that at times letting go of certain tasks and empowering your team members is extremely critical. By doing that, you don't accept defeat or you don't concede failure. Rather, it spares your own bandwidth to do higher things in life. So I would like to summarize by the point that you need to let go of your past negative thoughts as well as when it comes to leadership, letting go of certain responsibilities by effective delegation is extremely critical for you to grow, your team members to grow, your team to grow, and your organization to grow. Thanks very much for viewing this video, and keep your support going for my video series Eclat Power. Thank you very much.